Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest, well, head scratchers for anyone learning Spanish: noun gender. I know, it can feel totally random, right? But what if I told you to think of it like a puzzle? Well, in this explainer, we're going to find all the pieces and put them together.
Right off the bat, this is the question that drives every single Spanish learner a little bit crazy. You see, libro ends in O, so okay, el libro, masculine. That makes sense. But then you see mano, it also ends in O, so why is it feminine, la mano? It is confusing, but trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way, and believe it or not, there's actually a system behind all the madness.
So the real key here is to just shift your perspective a little. This isn't just random chaos, it's a system. A system with rules and, yeah, a few mischievous exceptions. So today, we're not just learning grammar. Nope. We are on a code-breaking mission to finally unlock Spanish gender once and for all. Our very first clue is also, without a doubt, the most important key to this entire puzzle. We're going to call it the golden ending rule. It almost always comes down to the last letter of the word. Seriously, if you can master just this one concept, you are already like 80% of the way there.
At its core, it's really this simple. Nouns ending in O are pretty much always masculine, and nouns that end in A are almost always feminine. You know, el libro, la casa. This one single pattern covers a huge percentage of all Spanish nouns. This is your foundation.
And hey, to make this rule really stick, try this fantastic little memory trick. For those masculine words ending in O, just picture a knight whose helmet has two big O-shaped eye holes. And for the feminine words ending in A, picture a princess in a classic, A-shaped dress. Linking the gender to a visual like that makes it so much easier to remember.
But of course, just when you start to get comfortable with the main rule, boom, the plot twists arrive. But here's the good news. These exceptions aren't random either. They have their own patterns. So let's start decoding these rule breakers.
You know, the language just loves to throw a few curveballs your way, but like I said, even they have patterns.
So here are the usual suspects. A lot of masculine words ending in a actually come from Greek, things like el problema and el tema. And the main feminine exceptions ending in o, well, there's la mano. And then you've got words that are just shortened versions of longer feminine nouns, like la foto, which comes from la fotografía. Honestly, just memorizing this short list will solve most of the exceptions you're going to run into.
All right, let's expand our code-breaking toolkit. Beyond just O and A, there are other endings that are huge giveaways. See a word ending in aje, like in el viaje? It's masculine. See one ending in ción, like la canción? It's going to be feminine. These patterns are incredibly reliable. Okay, now we're getting into the deep cuts. Sometimes, the code isn't in the ending at all, but in the meaning of the word itself. Certain categories of words just come with a pre-assigned gender, and it doesn't matter one bit how they're spelled. For example, all the days of the week are masculine, el lunes. All the colors, masculine, el rojo. But all the letters of the alphabet are feminine, la a. Thinking in these big categories is a fantastic shortcut that saves you from having to memorize hundreds of individual words.
Next up, we have the shapeshifters. These are nouns for people that end in ista or ente, and they're super flexible. The word itself doesn't actually change, only the article, el or la, changes to match the person's gender. So el turista for a man and la turista for a woman. Simple, right? The noun just adapts to the person.
Now this is where it gets really cool. For a handful of words, just changing the gender completely changes the meaning. Take the word capital. If I say el capital, I'm talking about money, financial capital. But if I say la capital, now I'm talking about the capital city, like Madrid or Bogotá.
And here's another great example. El frente is the military front, like in a battle. But la frente, that's your forehead. So as you can see, getting the gender right isn't just about picky grammar. It can literally change the entire meaning of what you're trying to say.
All right, code breakers, you've got the knowledge. You know the rules, you know the twists, and you know the deep cuts. So how do we put all this into practice and actually make it stick? Let's build your learner survival kit.
Okay, listen up, because if you only take one single thing away from this explainer, please let it be this. Never, ever again learn a Spanish noun by itself. From this day forward, learn the word with its article. Don't just memorize casa. Memorize la casa. Burn that pair into your brain as one single unit. I promise you, this one habit will change everything for you.
So let's put it all together in a quick survival guide. Step 1, the golden rule. Always learn the article with the noun. Step 2, use those memory tricks to make things stick. 3, if you're ever totally stuck and forced to guess, go with masculine. Statistically, it's just a slightly safer bet. 4, a good dictionary is your best friend. Look for that little M or F next to the word. And finally, step 5, immerse yourself. The more you listen and read, the more the correct gender will just start to sound right.
And here it is, your final cheat sheet. This is everything we've covered, from the main endings to the most common exceptions, all in one easy place. Think of this as your master key to the whole Spanish gender puzzle.
And there you have it. The code is officially cracked. See? Spanish gender isn't some random, impossible mystery. It's a system with patterns that you can absolutely master. So the only question left is, now that you've got the code, which one of those rule breaker nouns are you going to remember first? Happy learning!